So there's a problem that users frequently run into when using the Aeros with an external clock. And this can happen with any external clock. A lot of times people have purchased the BeatBuddy, that Singular Sound's drum device, and that's actually serving as the external MIDI clock to the Aeros. The problem that they're experiencing is that they've recorded a loop, and then at some other point they're playing back the loop, and the loop cuts out prematurely. The audio just drops out and then begins repeating from the beginning after a short bit of silence. Now, what's actually happening there is you've recorded the loop at a specific BPM, and your external clock has had its BPM changed. So the external clock is still in control of the Aeros, but now it's playing at a different BPM, and so is the Aeros. Then you can usually see that happening because you'll notice that the bar lines in the Aeros aren't quite matching up with the audio you're hearing. I'll demonstrate that really quick. I have a guitar line recorded in the Aeros, and it was recorded at 84 BPM, and it's 8 bars. So let's just hear that really quick. And there it was back at the beginning of the loop. Now I'll change the BPM in the external clock to something a bit slower. I'll change it to, let's say, 78. Now what should happen is we'll hear most of the loop, but as you watch, notice that the bar lines in the Aeros are no longer quite lining up to what you're hearing. And then at some point before we reach the end of the loop, the audio will cut out. And you can hear the entire loop played, but because the tempo was slower, it had to stretch out the measures further. So let's take a look at what happens if we make the BPM faster. I'll set it to, let's say, 94. So you can hear there was no silence, but the loop actually restarted prematurely. And that's because the BPM was faster, so the bars were counting out quicker, and 8 bars were reached before the audio that was recorded actually reached the end of the loop. So maybe that'll help you if you run into that problem. All you have to do is make sure the BPM of the external clock or the BeatBuddy is consistent with how it was when you recorded the loop, and you should be fine.